Today we're at Winona National Bank and we're going to talk with Joyce Perry about credit cards and debit cards. And Joyce, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
So let's start off with the obvious question. What is the difference between a credit card and a debit card?
The major difference, I think, would be for a debit card and a credit card is where the money is actually coming from. With a debit card, the money is coming from your account that you have at your bank. With a credit card, you are using credit that you don't currently have and that you pay for it later.
Most people have a credit card or a debit card. How are they similar and how are they different?
Debit cards and credit cards are similar because they can be used at any place of business, just like each other. However, different is with the credit card, you possibly will be charged interest if you do not make your payment on time at the end of each month.
So with that being said, what is the biggest advantage of using a credit card or a debit card?
The biggest advantage of using a debit card would be you would know your true cost of an item when you do purchase it. With a credit card, there's a possibility that you will be charged fees or interest, so you actually do not know what your true cost of that item would be. Also with a credit card, it helps you build your credit, so you are getting ready to purchase that vehicle or to purchase a home because it does build your credit score.
So then, are there any real risks to using a debit card?
There are risks. The risk would be is if you're not keeping track of your total and how you're spending your money, you could create yourself problems such as overdraft fees and things like that. So it's very important to keep track of where you spend your money, even when you use a debit card.
We've talked a lot about debit cards drawing from checking accounts. Can you also use them to draw from a savings account?
Debit cards are actually typically just being drawn from your checking account. The only time you can use it and draw from your savings is when you actually make an ATM withdrawal. So you are restricted to withdrawing just from your checking account with a debit card.
Some retailers are now issuing debit cards for their stores. Are those a good idea to have in addition to your debit card, or should we shy away from those? Can there be problems?
There are positive things to the in-store debit cards, and as always, there are going to be negatives. Your positives is the store is promoting that because they're wanting you to use their debit cards because you can only use it at that particular store. The negative part is you are restricted to just that store. With debit cards from a bank, you can use them anywhere. You're not restricted to use it just at that particular store.
And it also seems to me you could run in, you mentioned earlier about not recording your transactions properly in your check register and getting those overdrafts. It seems to me that might be an issue as well.
That's true. With the convenience of using that store debit card, you may run into the issue that you aren't keeping track of it as easily as you would if you're using your own bank debit card. I would hope not, but it is a possibility of overdraft fees.